Greetings from California.
And greetings from New York.
I just felt I'd start the episode off giving my last homage to Simone's reunion dress brought to us by Bounty.
I see. It's uncanny how similar y'all look.
I mean, we got the same. I just feel like it was such a good look. I'm not going to waste the paper towels. I was like, shoot, I'll wear it again for a full episode. If she can look like a fool for 2 hours, why can't I?
You are a good sport. I applaud you for your tenacity. In other news, I would love to know why you put Keri Hilson in the headline.
Because Keri Hilson is unsung, for lack of a better word. No, she's come out with new music. She is finally releasing this album. And the fact that her music is out before Rihanna's new music is out is newsworthy.
Well, here's the thing. Rihanna is in a place where she doesn't have to put out music anymore. Keri Hilson, look, you just reminded me of her. So I'm just like, what was your favorite Keri Hilson album? Alex?
Well, there was only one Keri Hilson album.
No, there was not. There was more than one. Which one is your favorite Keri Hilson album?
There was more than one?
What's your favorite Keri Hilson song?
I only like her because they threw Beyonce CDs at her.
Okay, I just want to make it clear.
I only like her because of the mess. Because Beyonce beat her out of a career, literally stole the music, had the fans attack, but she came out with that diss track, and at that time, you did not diss B. She was the first to get stung. They stung her so bad, they stung her off stage. They had her performing at county fairs and high school proms. And so I bring her up also as a cautionary tale.
Okay. I was just saying, like, this was just completely out of pettiness, not that you're a fan or anything. I just want to make that clear for the audience.
And the song was awful. The song, I have to say, let me know why you haven't been releasing music. Ooh. Drew's music was better.
Well, I listened to the song that you sent me. I mean, it's not bad. It's not something that I will listen to on purpose, but it wasn't terrible. I would say it's on the same level as a Drew song. I actually think someone said this on Twitter that they think Keri Hilson should actually be on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I think that exposure would definitely give her a like another resurgence, kind of like how I did for Candy as well as Garcelle.
But I would love to see her address her one-sided feud with Beyonce on reality television and how it tanked her career. If she's going to be honest about it, then I would love to hear the behind-the-scenes chatter.
Okay. Well, that's enough about talking about Keri Hilson. It's been 4 minutes? That's all she needs. That is all she needs. So moving on, since we even brought up Housewives of Atlanta, so of course it's been pointed out that the ratings have inched down even further from last week. And the thing is, I'm personally enjoying it, so I'm not really worried about the ratings. I guess Bravo has to be because of like demos, targets, advertising. But they said that Peacock, it's 2.5 million viewers in like a week, the highest rated Housewives, I believe, in quite some time or even ever. So my question is, does Black media want Real Housewives of Atlanta to fail? Like, or do we want it to fail? Because it feels like the narrative is like, even if it's better than last season, which it is, I feel like people still just they don't want to get behind it. They want it to fail.
I will say, in agreement with your sentiment, there is this I'm not watching attitude that I feel will not serve us in the future. It when somebody brought up it takes a minute for us to get Black positive shows on the air and keep them, I was like, you got a point in that. You got a point in that. And so there is a let's not be so negative about this show because it's like they ain't done nothing to nobody. They're coming with different plot lines this year, but there is a I'm not watching. There's a turning up of the nose, I feel. But I also feel like that 2-year wait got a lot of people out of the habit.
Also, I would say that I think people need to realize that we're not all watching Real Housewives of Atlanta at the same time anymore. Like, it's just not going to be in the 2 million range, 3 million range. Look, Beverly Hills is still under 1 million. So it's like less people are watching and more people are watching when they have the chance. We're out here working because a lot of us are broke. We don't have time. Or we're just tired by the time it comes on a Sunday. I don't know. Like, I just think people are being way too harsh. And look, when there's a bad episode, I mean, me and you are going to call it out. So far, I've been entertained.
I have too. I feel like the audience may be taking out that long wait grievance.
Oh,
and the
don't
fact
forget
that
the Kenya stands.
Oh Lord, and the Kenya stands is mad, and also somebody it was Brooke Ashley. Kempire had a great State of Bravo last night with Brooke Ashley and Wego, and she said that the weight definitely changed things with the show, and I tend to agree with that. And
Okay.
also, it's not like people want housewives of old and people embarrassing themselves like that on TV. We're not in that world anymore. Like we're like when I made fun of that Mama Joyce wig that lawyer had on, that's because that was the lawyer. That's because that's not a main character. And so you go and get a ridiculous hostess restaurant dress and a crispy wig. And it's cute and it's funny. But main characters, here's the thing, it's kind of like Drag Race. The shit has elevated and moved up. You can't come in here. What do we get on people? How do you not have this? How do you not know how to do that? You know there's going to be a sewing challenge. You know there's going to be snatch game. So it's like, look, you got to have your house together. You know you're going to have to host an event. You know you need to have your style and your looks on point. You know you're going to need to have a dress that you look good sitting down in. Why are we going over this? It's been 20 fucking years. Get it together. You didn't study the show. Act like it. I expect you to come on and get an A.
And shout out to Toya from Married to Medicine for being very petty. She posted the ratings like between her show and Atlanta. And Atlanta got 0.638. That's about 638,000. And then Married to Medicine, they're in their season high with 0.639. So she posted like with 100, I believe, or like 1,000 more viewers, I think. I thought it was shade, personally.
I could see, like, it's a reunion, so you're going to get more views. Like everybody, a lot of people that didn't watch through the season are going on and checking up in the reunion. So yes, you got your little bump of views at the end of the season, but all around for 11 years, you've never been that girl. You've always been Housewives' older sister.
Right. And look, congratulations to them. I mean, it is a technicality because they always have had a lead in. Now,
yes. Because I remember when they was hopping your ass around on the weekends, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We didn't know we didn't know when the hell you would be on. Our DVR was smoking. It was hopping around with y'all so much. So don't get too big for your britches.
Not the DVR was smoking, trying to keep up with that schedule. Look, I remember. Look, I haven't had a chance to say this in so long, but Pepperidge Farm remembers. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Now, also, let's just keep it a buck. Married to Medicine wouldn't even be on the air if it wasn't for Real Housewives of Atlanta. So don't get too comfortable. Like we hold Atlanta accountable, but let's not forget that. Look, we wouldn't have Potomac or Married to Medicine without Atlanta. So at least we can shade, but we can give props too.
Sure can.
Right. I guess since we're in the realm of Roa, you sent me this article about Mark Daly and his eviction problems.
Evictions with an S. Evictions plural. He's not just getting put out his house, he's getting put out his restaurant space too.
Yes, serious legal issues. Wow. He's being sued by the landlord of his Brooklyn apartment building on October 25th, 2024. They claim that he signed a lease extension and his lease was scheduled to end in June of this year. He was paying $4,900 in rent. They said he failed to pay rent for August and September. Let's see, he defaulted on the leases for 2 retail spaces in a Brooklyn building. And then also remember that restaurant SoCo, which that used to be kind of like a staple, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I went there one time and the food was definitely overpriced. It was all right, but definitely overpriced. They announced, he closed SoCo in December 2024. Damn.
Yeah.
15 years too, they were in business.
15 years in Brooklyn is respectable. That's respectable.
Thank you for pointing this out. Like SoCo used to be popping. Like I moved here in 2013, and definitely like if you lived in Brooklyn, you knew where SoCo was. So the decline is pretty sad. But it looks like he's almost about to be in a grand total of almost the $500,000 range in debt. Also, it's really interesting around the time that he took out these leases. It was around the time he got married to Kenya. I really think he thought he was on a gravy train.
I do think that he married her to have basically old lady gang New York, and their personalities did not mesh, so it never worked out.
Yeah.
That's sad that they couldn't get together for the money's sake. They really lost out, because if they could have pretended to like each other, but I feel like we've seen Kenya be unlikable and mean, so we have something to draw from. But I also feel that we've seen what little we saw of Mark. He was also unlikable and mean. I wouldn't want to be in a room, and he's short. When they said they served him, he was 5'5", no bigger than a minute.
I don't know if I believe that, because we've seen him stand next to Kenya, and I believe Kenya is tall. Like, we've met her in person.
She had on heels, and everybody's short to us.
I know, but 5'5", that's really short. That's like almost at my waist, probably. Like, Mark Daly is not like right by my belly button. Like, can't be. Like, right here is 5'10" for me. If y'all ever meet me in public, I'm very tall. Like, if you're right here to me, that means you're like 5'10". Right here, like if you're eye level, you're at least 6 feet. So yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that show would have been the Pink Teacup. Y'all remember? I remember the Pink Teacup with the hot food in with the macaroni and cheese. You think I could ever forget that?
Yeah.
I went all the way to Grand Army freaking plaza. Oh God. And the food wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was overpriced, but it wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
But who puts hot? I just ooh, I can't even. I can't. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna allow myself.
Well, for those of you who don't know, they put hot food over his potato salad. And I guess potato salad is supposed to be cold, right?
Yes.
I don't like potato salad, but yeah.
And you don't like potatoes, which is
I know.
ooh.
And I'm
But
from
you
the
there's a lot of things. You don't like chocolate. So it's
not you
just
pulling my card on here.
well,
Oh my
I
God.
know, I just mean but it's like, it's like so I feel like if somebody doesn't like chocolate, it's like, okay, well, it takes all different flavors. But you
Look,
love a Krispy Kreme and a king cake.
right, but I don't like desserts in general. Like,
That's true. You're
but
not a dessert guy. But you
I'm,
know who else wasn't? Or isn't? I'm sorry, isn't?
who?
Wendy Williams.
Oh well.
Wendy always said in her after show, I love a savory over a sweet.
But yeah, shout out to Mark Daly. I guess we'll see you in court. Um, speaking of like just public opinion, now look, I'm gonna call your card right now, Alex. You know what I'm about to bring up. You know what I'm about to bring up. So we did a PopRoast Extra episode.
Oh yes.
And with PopRoast Extra, we can really let our hair down. It's on my Patreon, patreon.com/CDE1. Totally uncensored. And you can ask us questions that we probably wouldn't answer on this platform. So someone asked about the Funky Geneva, Michelle Brown, Tasha K incident. And I was just like, can you just break that down for me? Because all I know is he threatened to slap the shit out of Tasha K on site. Who's a woman, by the way, which I don't know. Like, I was trying to just figure out what did Tasha K do to, what's his name? What's his real name?
Quentin.
Yeah. What did she do to him to be like on site? And if your husband got a problem with it, I'll check him as well. And look, I don't want no beef in these streets. I'm just wondering, like, you said you're going to continue the conversation on here.
Yes, I did, and I will. So, Funky posted a picture of his floorboard. He was pooping, and he took a picture while he, like, not of the poop, but like of the view of like the shorts and the floor. You know, people take that floor picture when they're on the toilet. Sometimes you'll get a knee. Yeah. So he put that picture on his Instagram, talking about how he was having a rough bowel movement. Tasha reposted it, making fun of him, as Tasha K does. He was pissed about that. Text Tasha, told her to take it down, whatever and whatnot. She goes on and takes it down. And then Michelle had been talking about him, because Michelle never stops. Michelle has been talking about him for 10 years. Now, there is the don't piss nobody off and tell them how mad to get. However, we are now at the juncture of, baby, you were telling on your life. You clearly have not made any new friends since that incident. You were still clearly hurt. And this is beginning to show some mental deficiencies, some mental issues, because you've been made financially whole. And it's been 10 years, baby. I wouldn't be caught dead talking about this because it makes you look insane. Now, I'm not saying you are, but who's still going on about it? Now, everybody else is going on about it to get their check, because, child, the more we talk about it, the more people going to keep watching this video. They're going to watch it all the way through, because YouTube does reward the mess. YouTube rewards the mess. So there's also... It's the truth, and it's been 10 years. So it's turned into a running joke at this point. I have decided to write Funky Dineva, the musical. And we are going to have, I'm doing a musical. I'm doing a musical about the house. The washer and dryer are going to have a part. I'm going to do a musical about my part, the Fulton County Court document song. I don't know if I'm going to play Funky or not. I have a couple ideas for who will play Michelle, but we're going to make it funny. We're going to make it, it's been 10 years and we're still talking about it. Somebody's going to do a musical. I may as well. There's going to be a fucking musical because we can't stop talking about it. And then every year, I'm going to do the musical, do it on here. And every year on the anniversary of the garnishings, we're going to play it. I'm going to make money off this shit every fucking year because we're not letting it go. We're not letting it go. We're not moving on. It's been 10 years. And the fact that everybody clicks on the video after 10 years, we're just going to do a musical and call it a day.
All right.
Everybody's still interested, so why not just set it to music?
Teddy Pig said, "Call it skid marks." Wow. So my question is, there's been a lot of vitriol for this this YouTuber Michelle Brown, correct? I have never heard of this woman in my life. If she walked past me, I would not know it. I did kind of go by her channel, and she does have a lot of subscribers, so people still like her. But it seems like she's the Sandra Rose of YouTube. Like a lot of people, like I don't even want to say her name a third time. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. It's like saying Bloody Mary in the mirror.
I will say that that's why I got out, because I'm like, I'm not going to do this every day. I like to cover reality shows, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go back and forth with people every day. I didn't realize there were people willing to get up and do that every single day. But now I see the business behind it. And the fact that there's an audience and you can look at those videos and see, and it's like, wow, y'all really sitting up here telling the same. It's like Bible study, but just for Funky Dineva. Mm-hmm. But it is the same story. They sit around and they listen to. And so then she put him out of the house. And the church said, hey, I'm telling you, they have freaking meetings.
Right. It's just certain things that I remember from that era. This was before me. This was BC, before Chris. Look, all I remember, like just certain items kind of like just come to the forefront during that era. A washing machine, like court documents.
Yes.
And a crack pipe.
And the thing is, he was never on crack. He said he was. His
be
words.
Careful.
Allegedly.
Right.
He said he used stuff. He's petty. But I don't remember the crack pipe. I do remember crack allegations. Yes. But the washer and the dryer definitely went missing. And even Crystal made a joke. They never did find Michelle's washer on what was that on the read. So it was definitely like a black internet moment, and that's like right when Twitter was starting to pop off. That was the beginning of the social media. So
right. And I just like to point out that
Cadman Properties and Trusts, girl, they in here quoting the video.
Look,
Cadman Properties and Trusts.
Yeah. I just want to point out that I'm just an observant in this. I am a baby YouTuber still. I am sweet 16. I don't know what the adults are doing on YouTube. I'm just here keeping my mouth shut and observe. I am not at Charles' level, and I don't pretend to be.
And the thing is, for a while, people were calling me a hater, and I'm like, look, all I did was report the same news that everybody else does. You can go to Fulton County Court documents and pull this shit up. So I'm not exposing anybody. I'm just saying what it is.
Right.
Now, did that tea get dropped in my inbox by Michelle? Absolutely, 100%. But why are people surprised?
Yeah. Well, that's all I wanted to, get out the way. We talked about it. Ain't no like, awkwardness. There's no elephants in the room. So yeah, yeah. So speaking of just perfect segue, speaking of not letting things go, Monique goes after Tyler Perry. Like another interview about it. And I think she said people are tired of her. She's aware at least this time. But she said, she had to bring it back to slavery. Like what did they say about the slaves? And the master wanted them to shut up. It's just like, I don't know. What does she want from this man?
There comes a point when you have to realize you ain't gonna get what you want and either whoop his ass or move on. I'm cool with either. I am cool with either. If you must exact your pound of flesh, so be it.
Mm-hmm.
So be. You and Sydney can catch him anytime, anywhere. Your hands are rated E for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But the whining, you whining to the wrong people, baby. We can't do anything for you. Beloved sister, we do not have Tyler's mouth or Tyler's pockets. Therefore, now if you want to set up a GoFundMe, I got $5 to shut you up.
Mm-hmm.
If there is a dollar amount, we will raise it to shut you up. But if you need it from Tyler specifically, then you need to make sure your lips are getting to Tyler's ears and not ours, because we can't do shit for you. We don't have that apology. I will apologize for him if you would accept it so that we can all move on with our lives. I want to move on, Chris. I want to move on.
Likewise, and as much as I can see, Monique with her hairy arms, like punching Tyler Perry out, like I don't think it's going to be possible because Tyler Perry is a billionaire. I'm sure he has bodyguards around him 24/7. I just want her to let it go because I just feel like you're Monique. Be funny. I just feel like she will not let it go. She will not let the mouse go. She said the reason why she kept picking at Lee Daniels, she was just like, see, we're together. If I didn't care, that means that, I wouldn't be trying so hard. Oh, Monique is a Sagittarius. Look at that. Look at that. It makes perfect sense if she is, allegedly.
I don't know any Sagittarii.
Well, I have some friends that are Sagittarius, but I don't hold it against them. But just someone bringing that up that she is one, I think it just really makes sense. Also, let's talk about something else about not letting go. Tamar and Candy. Like, Candy isn't even thinking of you, you clown. Like Candy is busy here promoting a very, very successful Broadway show that she's behind, her and Todd. Bless his money-making heart.
Oh, I was just watching someone on TikTok say, I wonder if Mama Joyce regrets all the disturbance and dissension around Todd now that he's really been, a huge help to Candy. I mean, no, he didn't come in with a whole bunch of money, but he came in with something more valuable, ideas and business acumen.
Yeah. And look, child, Candy got herself a damn stylist now, a real stylist. And she's been looking great. Great.
She has. I mean, she's also finally started to spend some money on Laquan Smith and such.
Yes, they make them when you got the coin.
If you'll spend the coin, she had the coin, but she wouldn't spend it. And maybe this is a lesson to people to stop trying to rich people. Stop being so tired and cheap because we can see it.
Because you know how everybody knows everybody in the industry. I heard that the new stylist is the same one who had Fantasia during her Color Purple run. So, like, remember when Fantasia was shutting it down? And Candy was in Christian Siriano.
Christian has also made himself the go-to stylist for black women or the go-to designer for black women, and I'm loving it. He was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, they're not dressing them? All right, well, watch me get these coins."
That Halle Berry dress.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God, at the Oscars. I love Christian. Like, that's when I used to actually watch Project Runway. Like, from the beginning. I adored him. Loved his style. Like, most successful. And then they're coming back with Project Runway and Law Roach, Christian Siriano, Nina Garcia, and Heidi Klum. I have to watch it now.
I'm going to watch to give Law Roach a chance.
He is a good ass judge. No matter how I feel about him, you know.
You see, why did I know it was going to be? How I feel about him.
I heard from a friend who knows Law that Law is actually very, very nice in real life. Like, more so, he plays it up. Kind of like Kenya Moore.
Okay.
But they say I hear only good things about Law, like, outside of,
Okay. Okay, that's good. Because it's a lot where it's like, ooh, I don't know if I'll like you, or I don't know if I find mean. I think we're all at a point where we find mean gay exhausting.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch. I want to like you.
Mm-hmm. So we're in the midway point. Let's just get it out the way. Let's talk about Garcelle exiting Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Okay, I have a question for you about this. First off, especially because you are a Southerner. When I heard Erica say, "Won't he do it?"
Yeah.
To me, it seems she was mocking Sutton. Because "Won't he do it?" to me is more Southern than I've heard too many white people say that. So especially from there, so I'm like, that gave me Sutton. Because I don't see Garcelle saying, "Won't he do it?"
You mean Bose?
Or Bose saying, "Won't he do it?" I don't see either of them.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just like placing things on Bose that I think is a little unfair. I know that really irritated people hearing Erica say that. I don't know. I don't know where she learned it from. Like, all we have look, this is where it all started from. First, because people are really going at Bose right now, and we can get into it. I'm going to try to be brief, but all we know is Garcelle posted that all skin folk ain't kinfolk, which I will say was kind of very Candace, like putting out a dog whistle like that, because I think she knew that people would gather that she's only talking about one or two people, one or two, Anne-Marie or Bose. Then we have Garcelle exiting, which I said on my Pop Quickie or whatever, when she just did, I was like, you don't leave the show before the season finishes and we even see the reunion. Something happened. Like, yes, Garcelle is that girl. She'll always will be. She has other opportunities, but something happened. And then we saw that she didn't even take a photo with these bitches. And then the Watch What Happens Live. So that's all what people have to go from. And then, shout out to Kim Pye with the tea, the very hot tea, which really set people off, is when Bose allegedly said that that if she was Dorit, she would have sued Garcelle. But we haven't seen this yet. So the thing is, I have to withhold my opinion. I'm going to give this black woman the benefit of the doubt until I see the reunion. Because I'm not calling Bose a COON when all she's done on this platform is uplift black businesses, black creatives, and it's really talk the talk. I mean, talk the talk and walk the walk. But I don't know, just because in this little bubble, how she moved, this just takes away everything that she's done. I don't know. I don't think that's fair. And I don't know. I got to be objective.
We still have a lot to see. I will say we don't have enough information to solve for X. Like in a math equation, we're not given enough information, so therefore we cannot make a judgment at this time. I also feel that me watching the last few episodes, I saw Garcelle being like, "Oh, I don't want to be bothered." I like even in Augusta, like I saw a black woman at work that was ready to retire. Shout out to my YouTube mother for its rocks. Without her, I wouldn't have started this. She is so awesome, and she is retiring this year, and she's been talking about it for 2 years. The same energy. If y'all watch Roxanne, you know what I'm talking about. It's the same energy. I could see like the reunion being a blow up and maybe Andy like I could see why, but I could see her being like, I'm just blowing up because I don't have to be here anymore. I'm tired. And Sutton, I thought you were my friend, but the fact that you need Kyle to be your friend when it's so obvious this she don't want you. I don't need to be around this, you stupid. And I truly feel that she doesn't respect Kyle. She doesn't respect Erica. And she really doesn't have any use for Dorit.
Yes.
Like I truly think she doesn't think that she's better than them. She just she doesn't need them like Sutton needs them.
Right. And look, I like Garcelle. I like Bose. I champion Garcelle throughout my reviews. You could go back and see it. I think as an audience protected Garcelle, but also, there's people that are new to the show and just watching it because of Garcelle and haven't watched the earlier seasons. But here's the thing. I just want to challenge the audience. Why is this expectation of Bose put on Bo's shoulders to protect Garcelle when Garcelle, there's been 3 or 4 occasions that I can name that she didn't come, to Bo's defense. And one of those being, remember when Garcelle, she called Kyle out her first season saying, I don't think you're really interested in what I'm saying. Called her out and had the same issue with Kyle being cold to her and not opening up to her. Fast forward, Bose had that same issue with Kyle. And then Garcelle was right there at Dorit's house at the pool party, didn't say anything, and even threw Kyle into the argument that they were having when they were talking about the spokesperson thing. Also, we want Bose to call out her white friend when Garcelle didn't call out her white friend for telling a black woman, "Oh, you speak so eloquently." Why couldn't you check your white friend there on the after show? You saw the show. So I'm just like, why are we putting all this on Bose, but we don't put it on Garcelle? That's all I'm saying. And you heard the news, right, that came out yesterday that Sutton and Garcelle haven't spoke since the reunion, allegedly.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear they had
came out
spoken
yesterday.
I think I heard that Garcelle ignored Sutton's goodbye. I'm not surprised. I think Garcelle is pissed with Sutton for Sutton's lack of loyalty. And from the outside looking in, I feel for Garcelle, that's a really important thing. And also it was you two were on your own kind of island. And rather than being happy that you were on the island with Garcelle and Garcelle's a school girl and you're having fun, you still want to be with Kyle. And I think she just got sick of that, where it's like, okay, then you go over there. You go over there, heifer. Go over there. You want Kyle so bad? Go over there.
Also, I want to ask a controversial question. Do we want black women on the white majority shows? Because it seems that,
my God,
do we want them on there? Because let's just have that honest conversation. It would be okay for Bose and Garcelle to argue if they were on an all-black show. Those ladies, if Garcelle was on Atlanta or Potomac, they would eat her alive, just how Atlanta ate up Kim Fields alive. But Garcelle came in with an advantage, and it is what it is. This is our society. This is how it works. optics is everything, which we saw in Watch What Happens Live. Like she came in with an advantage of, oh, these ladies aren't really going to come for her because they're afraid to being called racist. And it is what it is. They have some problematic behavior because we've had it from everybody on the show.
It's definitely true because it's a show about conflict and conflict resolution, but we don't want the conflict to be from that dark place. It's like, no, I just want you to make fun of her clothes.
Exactly.
And we don't want you to make fun, and not because she's black, just because it's a weak seam or Dusty Rose.
And I was saying, like, with Erica, when Watch What Happens Live, I was like, oh my God, this is something new. And I think this kind of gagged Garcelle and it gagged her fans, where it's just like, they have never come for Garcelle like that. Like, and, you know, coming from her home, and even though Erica's the villain in this, because, bitch, you rent your damn home. You rent your damn home. You don't even have a.
But it's a show about Beverly Hills, and so it's wealth and it's wealth shade, which is what you're supposed to do on the show. But everybody was pissed at Erica for saying house in Bakersfield. But it is like, well, that's what we're supposed to say on this show,
right? Or you married an ugly white man too who cheated on you. I was like, oh, like I was like, oh my God, like. How come like Garcelle just can't come back? Why are we coddling her? Read the bitch. Like I don't need, like, she didn't say anything racist. That's what I'm like.
If the house is in Bakersfield, the house is in Bakersfield.
Well, I heard it actually wasn't, but otherwise it's just like it's a read. Why can't we just return serve? Remember when Dorit, she was like, let me finish Garcelle. Like in that moment, Garcelle didn't even get back at her. And I'm just like, Garcelle, why didn't you fight back? Stand up. You know, like all of us were mad at her for that. And even in the season finale, because people don't want to pay attention to things, like when Erica was trying to do that whole mafioso shit, trying to say like, was it you? Was it you? I was. You remember that?
I do. I made fun of it. I was like, wait, now we're doing this.
But yeah, like Garcelle in that moment had a chance to just be like, you know what? I'm standing 10 toes down. I thought you coordinated with Dorit to come at Sutton. She didn't say that. She was like, you know what, Erica? I'm going to take your word for it. Like, I just feel like we coddle Garcelle so much that Garcelle really isn't a reader. She throws shade really well, but she does not read.
She doesn't do the confrontation. You're right.
But I'm just saying, like, isn't that what Housewives is supposed to be? Like, as long it's fair game, even if you're on like the villain side or the fan favorite side, as long as it doesn't get into a problematic area, it should be, you know, it's within the rules. But
and I will say, Erica, even though she was forced into quote unquote giving up more, some say she was, some say she was, who had a life-changing storyline?
Like, the thing is, like, yeah, this season, like, sometimes people deserve a break. Like, Erica carried season 11. Carried. And look, Garcelle has the benefit of not needing the show. And this is my one last point. I'm sorry. Because I went into it in my review today. But just like politics, like, the pendulum swings on Housewives. It could be your fan favorite. It could be the villain. The villain can have a good season. The good person can have a terrible season. It's to their choice whether they want to sit in that hot seat for another season. Like, Garcelle saw the writings on the wall. Like, oh, I don't have that protection, that shield anymore. So she made the choice, which she has that privilege of, look, I don't need the show. You bitches need the show. So have fun without me. And I applaud her for that. But I'm just saying, we can't expect to have Garcelle just in a favorable light the entire fucking show.
That's very true. That's not Housewives. That's not the nature of the beast. And her leaving now, you really are getting out unscathed. You really got 5 years of positive press and promo, because you're very right. If she was on a black show, we would have found out your personal business. We would have talked about it. Nobody really went digging in your life that much.
You know, they would have brought up that white husband.
Exactly. Nobody brought up that husband. Nobody brought up the cheating. Nobody brought up the email. So the girls really did go easy on you. As like, because if you had been on a black show, Child Quad would have slapped you by now.
I don't know about all that. I just feel like
Toya might have thrown you in the pool. I mean, Sheree could have tugged at your wig like.
The same way, you know, how we like, I feel like we all, y'all included in the chat, like how we've been discussing Garcelle's fashions. Had anybody, Kyle, Dorit, or Erica talked about her fashions, it would have been a wrap for them. But it would be okay on another show. So that's my question. Do we want black women on these shows? Because now y'all about to run bows off. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. I wanted to see both of them come back and maybe like really have the difficult conversations. So I don't know. Like people just acting brand new now and like and not knowing how this works.
I will say that I think what we need is more like we need more of a mix. Like give us 2 white women, mixed black woman, some Asians, some Latinas. Like give us more of a mix where it's like, okay, everybody a little bit of something. So ain't nobody throwing that kind of shade, and we're going after the outfits and the flatware. I mean, you talk about what?
Is that authentic though? Like when you start trying to like, okay, we gotta appease these people, we gotta appease these, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. And you know, that's like we're the Democratic Party now.
I feel like there are authentic multicultural friend groups. I'll say there are authentic multicultural. They need to find them. But I will say, to your point, there is like with the Housewives of New York, if they could just call that shit the Housewives of the East Hamptons, then it could be all white and it's fine. It's a look into that microcosm. It's a look into that world. Because guess what? White people are related to white people. So it's okay. It's okay. It's not racist. But and it's sometimes okay to show, like it's okay to show an all black world. It's okay to show an all Asian world. It's okay to show people interacting with their culture. So maybe we need to look at it through that lens rather than, oh, it's exclusionary. Because then it's like, no, we're just seeing how these people act when they're with their people.
And we've seen that 2 black women work on a show. It's called Real Housewives of Miami, but you know, the ninjas don't watch it for some reason. I don't know why.
What that is, I'm actually getting ready to start Miami again or do this last season of Miami because Miami's coming back in June, and I'm gonna watch along. I'll say I think why, one, because it was on Peacock last year and people I was trying to review it and I kept forgetting about it. So maybe they need a little more press and promotion.
Yeah. But yeah, I have to wait to see the reunion and see how things really played out. Then we can have a clearer picture than going by rumors and stuff like that. Like, because I like Bose, I like Garcelle. It just is what it is. And I just call it like I see it.
The second Garcelle got off the show, she took that shitty red hair out. I think she was doing that shit just to piss us off. That was a work wig. She was like, I don't even want to feel like myself right now.
She is best dressed at the reunion. I was so disappointed. At first, I was like, is this a joke? Like, girl, like something really bad must have happened. And look, shout out to Kim Power. He said, because I think everyone is harping on her defending Dorit. Now, in my own review, I said, Garcelle, you saying this, you know, you better be prepared to stand 10 toes down on it at the reunion. Like, no matter whose opinion you need, if you feel like, oh, well, they faked that robbery, you better say it like once you're called out on it.
That
let's just be, what you about to say?
I don't think that robbery comment was smart. That wasn't it. That wasn't the comment. It just it's not a good look. It's just no.
And it's a different. I hate how people like just keep saying that. Like, well, we all think it. I'm just like, me saying this with my 16,000 subscribers, me thinking this is different on a show that has over 800,000 people watching a week, someone who actually knows them personally. Like, I was like, I said in my review, she's lucky that Dorit and PK aren't petty enough to sue her. It's because they're too broke to sue her anyway. That's the first point. They're in their own legal troubles. So that's my thing. Like, I haven't seen Bo say it yet, so I'm gonna hold my opinion on it. But I said the same thing too. Even though I think it's like it's not fact. And for Garcelle to say that on that platform and then even put PK specifically now, I'm just like, you better stand 10 toes down at the reunion, which you said.
I also wouldn't disparage someone that I don't know as a parent like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little too low for me. Like, they hadn't done anything to you for you to throw out that kind of an insult. You don't know that man like that to say that he would put his wife and his kids in danger. Like, that's just like, that's really what you're saying. That's gross. That's what will get you sued, because it's like his kids are going to hear that. You don't want people messing with your kids. You didn't like it, but now it's okay for you to do.
Don't hold Garcelle accountable. Don't hold her accountable, because the fans, they don't like that. They don't like that.
That statement really, I was like, do you realize what you're saying? Like, and then the fact that she brought it up again at the beach house with Sutton, I was like, that's not nothing to play with. That is not anything to play with at all.
Mm-hmm.
That shit, and you end up in investigations with shit like that.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I can't wait till Tuesday. I am off. I might just do a live watch along, because I just have not seen the type of avalanche on Bose like in a while. Like that was almost like in Dr. Jackie levels. And I'm just like, in the grand scheme of things, what did she do again? Like as far as like her being in boardrooms and stuff like that, what does it matter, in the grand scheme of things?
And also, Bose responding to that comment, that's her job. She's supposed to respond to what the women are doing around her. They're going to ask, like, well, how do you feel about what she did to her? So she got asked and she answered.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, my comment section is a war zone on my Beverly Hills review, but it is what it is. People have their opinions. I just wish we can all have our opinions and still be good at the end of the day. I don't agree with you all the time, but that don't mean I'm gonna call you you asshole or something like that. Someone told me to kick rocks.
What?
Right.
Because they disagree.
Because they disagree with me.
People get upset about me talking about Kenya. And I'm like, I don't even say anything bad about Kenya. I really, for the past 2 years, all I have said is, I'm just tired of her giving me mean. I'm tired of her giving me mean. I can give you examples. Give me an example of her giving nice. Because I can tell you when she ordered them crab cakes and didn't tell nobody. I can tell you that. Oh.
Well, y'all.
Ordering crab. Could you imagine?
I can't.
I would never do that to you.
I know. That was very selfish for her to do that. We still got some more show to go, y'all. Don't fret. I don't mind. And I just want to remind people that once I'm done reviewing Housewives, I go about my life. I really do. It's not that deep for me. Anyway, let's get some good news. So Selena's murderer.
I was thinking the same thing.
Right. She was denied parole after serving 30 years. And I'm just like, bitch gotta die in prison.
Finally, somebody in government made a good decision. Finally, they make some fucked up decisions every day, but once in a while, they get one right.
Mm-hmm. I'm so happy. Like, bitch, you're gonna die in prison. So yeah, get comfortable. That's someone said beady bum. Oh my
And
God.
and
Just give me
honestly, I could see them being like, even if she really be rehabilitated, we ain't got the manpower to keep her ass from getting beat out in the streets. It's gonna be a riot and mayhem. It costs the taxpayers. Keep her in here.
crazy. What also is crazy, Sean Kingston, as well as his mom, were both found guilty on all counts. I believe it was just one count though, but a federal wire fraud. The jury reached the verdict after just 3.5 hours of deliberation.
They were ready.
Um,
They were ready to go home for the weekend.
yeah. So then his mom was taken into federal custody where she will remain jailed until July 11th, their sentencing. Now, Kingston, Sean, he was placed under house arrest. He let his mom go to jail but made sure he was at home. How did that work?
Because he's the one with the most money, so he can afford the house arrest. I don't know how he still has it, because his house arrest, he had to come up with 500, 300 in property, 200 in cash. And I'm like, if you was scamming these people for all this shit, where's this money come from?
Greed.
Greed is right. And he has been globe-trotting scamming for so long. I am not surprising. He's still trying to talk about he connected to Justin Bieber. Girl, ain't nobody listened to your song in I don't know how long. You're pre-streaming.
Well, thank you, Brianna. They said the mom is in prison because of obstruction. The Fed said she wasn't getting off. Well, they were both convicted of defrauding several high-end businesses, including a jewelry store, luxury bed company, exotic car dealership, and micro-LED TV brand. Sorry for you. So the Basketball Wives cast, what do we think about it?
That one girl looks like a thin Gia Gunn.
Oh, she does.
Cannot get that out of my mind. And then also, yup. I was like, no, season 7, Gia, what are you doing here?
But she was in the background of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Did you notice that? She was in the last episode.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, I think she was also trying to audition to be on Housewives of Atlanta as well.
Oh, okay. I like that Ty is on there. I actually like that they've started to bring in some lesbian energy because it balances out the cast. It's like it's not all just horrible feuding. It's like some girls that actually want to be friends. And I'm like, okay, I can get this. Like the lesbians are the cool ones on there. And then, you've got Evelyn just to be evil and Jennifer just to be evil. But the new girls seem nicer. And I think that's why Fifi and her jaundiced complexion didn't work. But I hope that her liver's not failing her anymore.
Wow. You will not let that girl rest. I don't even know where she is right now. Someone
Hopefully
said
at dialysis.
Someone said, I guess
that was wrong. I'm sorry, that was wrong.
You meant it. They said Ming Lee dated Rick Ross. I'm like, who has Rick Ross not dated?
Me.
For real. Like, God. I'm surprised Jackie Christie's daughter is on this show.
I'm not. And I would say that shows you a failure because there is no way on earth that I would have my child on this show. Does she even have a husband? Because I heard she's still just engaged.
I don't know. But the cast photo, I thought it was pretty cute. I think it's a better cast photo than Housewives of Atlanta. Not the red dresses, but the one where they're like that Love and Hip Hop photo.
I don't like that one. I don't like the red dresses either.
I actually like the red dresses. They brought back Brittany, who's now in her hijab era.
I don't remember Britney from the first time. I
She
keep
was,
hearing of this woman, and I know that she used to live like I saw her. I know she used to live a secular life, and now she's given herself to God. But other than that, I really don't know. I'm happy for her.
well, she was in the one where that girl was trying to attack Jennifer. It was like the new girls, like a bunch of the new girls. And then the only person who survived out of all the new girls was the old lesbian who was on the show, who was just got replaced by another lesbian. I forgot her name.
I forgot it too.
Yeah. But yeah, Brittany Renner, I remember her. She was exhausting. So I'm just like, why is she back on this damn show? Oh, Jaceel. Thank you, Jaceel.
Oh, I liked Jaceel. Jaceel was fun. Jaceel really wanted to be friends with them girls. Jaceel could find the good side of a rock. Like,
yes.
If she could want to be friends with Jackie Christie, I'm like, girl, you got a spirit in you.
When does the show premiere?
Oh, sometime in April. Also, are you going to be recapping Love Hotel premiering on Peacock April 27th?
I will not be. I'm not a fan of like dating shows at all.
I will watch men pretend to find Giselle attractive. I'll watch them pretend.
Okay. So did you talk about Marvin Sapp and that whole church thing?
No.
So yeah, apparently it was like a big congregation, maybe 2,000 people in there. He told the ushers to lock the doors because until they get 40K out of the audience, like if they, I guess, squeeze 40K out the room, they said only everybody in the room just needs to give $20. I don't know. I don't really go to the mega churches like that. Some people were saying that that happens all the time. I don't know.
I've heard of it happening. I've heard of this. I'm not a church person. I think that
You're not? Well,
it's shocking.
Right.
But yeah, I have heard of that. And this is why I don't go. I don't want to be held upside down and shaken by my ankles.
Oh, like
I didn't know God worked like that. I thought Miracles was free. I didn't know you was a subscription program. We paying weekly for Miracles now. I thought a miracle was free from the Lord. We gotta subscribe. He want $10.99 a week.
Crazy. I don't know. I just thought that was just interesting.
Like I find it fascinating, and also who had the money? Because I'm like, the other bills are due. I didn't know you could just do.
Where was the money going to go to?
Probably a new roof. And also, why do churches always need new roofs? Can't we just get some roofers that go around doing churches for the Lord? Let's get some holy roofers so we can stop all these. My roof is leaking.
Well, look. Just Hilarious says Rashida and Kirk are the perfect example of partnership.
Well, Just Hilarious, we know you know about imperfect examples in partnership. We know you know all about that with your partnership with Hot 97 because they don't seem to want you. So I would guess you might know about imperfection, which could educate you on perfection, because at least Rashida wants Kirk around, even though Kirk could care less about Rashida.
I don't know. I get irritated every time I see Just Hilarious Stonehenge face. So I really don't try to listen to anything she says, because I don't think she says anything of value.
And neither do her listeners, which is why Lauren LaRosa is about to take her job. Did you see they over here doing a music video called The Job Is Mine, and then had the nerve to use the original raw vocal? It would have been funny if they had just lip sunk to, Brandy and Monica. But oh no, they had to sing it themselves, and that wasn't necessary.
You got a correction too. It's Power 105, not Hot 97.
Oh, Power 105. Well, Hot 97's better, so.
Well then.
The vocals made my ear bleed. No, I understand.
Yeah, the hijinks of the Breakfast Club is just, my fucks are pretty much out.
I think that the Breakfast Club should have ended when Angela Yee left. You should have had a show with Envy and Charlemagne, and then had them do like a show for men in their 40s, and then brought in a new crew of like early 20-somethings for that early morning show feel. If you want a younger demographic, get people from a younger demographic. When I want to listen to 20-year-olds, I want to listen to 20-year-olds. When I want to listen to somebody my age, I will listen to someone my age. But them trying, like, they can't figure out what they want to do. And it's like, you got to pick a lane. You either got to go for the kids or you got to go for my age. You can't do both.
I really don't want any more microphones in front of these stupid ninjas. I really don't. Like, the Joe Budden podcast is enough.
They actually want to evict him from his studio space because they're tired of him walking around naked in the complex. Because he gets drunk after the show and will fall asleep there and walk around naked.
2 more things left before I head out. So Jeremy D just reminded me, are we going to talk about Raheem on Watch What Happens Live? I remember he came last week on your show.
Yeah, Tyreek came last week.
Tyreek, and he was just like, can you please just talk about that? And I just want to say, it's not surprising that Andy would have Raheem on the show. I'm pretty sure Andy is very well aware of Raheem, his appendages, and all of that. I'm sure Raheem has seen Andy Cohen's penthouse in the West Village.
I'm sure he has. I'm sure they went back and had a gay old time.
Right. And a lot of people think Andy's a bottom, but Andy's a top from what I hear. So, yeah, I'm just saying, like, a lot of people think, like, when you see y'all, because I know y'all don't know who he is, Google Raheem. Google Raheem. You will see. And for, like, if you really want to see, put Raheem and gay behind it. You'll be seeing something. But yeah, on top of what? Look, being a top is not connected to masculinity as people may think. Let's just say that.
That's very
true. Oh, so our WTF story of the day is Glorilla had to end her concert in St. Louis after a third fight broke out. Like 3 different fights broke out. Why are we fighting? Well, there's just some artists where you shouldn't have to worry about that. I didn't think Glorilla, maybe a Sexy Red concert. Because I feel like if you're going to a Sexy Red concert, a Sexy Red where she's headlining, then I don't know, you must like bottom of the barrel things. So I wouldn't be surprised if bottom of the barrel people were there too. So I don't know, like Glorilla, I was really surprised by that. Like, why? Like, and this has been multiple concerts where I've been seeing fights break out at her shows. Like, what do you think? Like, why?
As much as concerts are, I am baffled. Right. I'm sorry, bottom of the barrel or not, everybody paying to have a good time. Like, if you want to wrestle, go to the gym.
Right.
There are boxing clubs, but why go to a concert, put on your good clothes, and get them fucked up? That don't make no sense.
Now, see, back in my day, when I was in Atlanta, and Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. Now, I could see why people were fighting because we had lyrics like "We some head busters, we some head busters. We'll knock a nigga out. We some head busters." Or um, knock a ninja out to the white meat or something like that. Those were the type of songs that he was playing. So I get that. But I don't know. Like, I was just really disappointed because being at a concert and them having to actually cancel it, and which I thought was really smart on Glorilla's part, because now we're suing the artists for other people's behavior now. So I get why. Safety issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, act like you have some sense, y'all, in public.
I don't get it. That's why I stay home.
I will say though, just to be fair, when I went to see Avril Lavigne way back in the day with a friend, my homegirl almost beat up this white girl because we were in general admission, we're all in standing room, and the girl, her hair kept whipping in front of my friend's face, and look, my friend almost did like a charade and like almost yanked her, but yeah, she pushed her like my friend, and it almost was a fight at an Avril Lavigne concert. No, my homegirl was black. It was a white girl in front of her whose hair was like kind of whipping in her face. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, fights can happen in all type of concert venues.
Well, on that note, I guess I'll see you sooner than we see the reunion and know about Bose.
Yeah, well, I'll see you sooner than we see Garcelle on Bravo.
Bye, y'all.